Hello and welcome to Bump Love. Happy 2021. If you are watching for the very first time, welcome to the Bump Love family. We were looking and waiting for you. Happy 2021. Today on the show, we'd like to talk about weaning. It's a process where a baby moves from breast milk to other sources of nourishment, or what we commonly know as introducing solids. Now, it's a process that requires patience and understanding from both you and your child. Children are different, so the weaning process cannot be a one-size-fits-all. Today on the show, we want to talk about our weaning experiences, what worked, what didn't work, and hopefully you can get some ideas from our experiences. Welcome to the show, ladies, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy 2021.
Yeah, so tell us about your weaning experiences. How did that work? What were the challenges you faced?
Well, weaning, I started with a partial wean at 4 months. And the process was not, it was touch and go, but I think it's because I had decided that, yes, we have to maintain the breastfeeding. Yeah. So the partial wean was, I just substituted the daytime feeds. So he would take the milk in the morning and in the evening, afternoon towards bedtime. But during the daytime period, it was purely, basic Cerelac, porridge, easy mashups here and there as we maintained, and then fully weaned off maybe much later, like by 7 months we were now really on solid, substituting here and there of course, but yeah. Mine wasn't too bad, except the times when you'd spend so much time preparing something nice. You've gone on the internet, you checked for those nice, you add in your car, a banana, you've mashed it properly, then a pumpkin, back a squash. You can go to ShopRite and get squash. You hear them squash and then that's like, what is break my heart.
I know.
For me, that's where I struggled. Now when you get him his food of his boys of Chisoro from his side, you get them his sweet potato, some kajanjalo soup there, that one they eat.
That's what you would eat.
What to do? My child is not cool. What to do? I dumped the squash, kept him on African foods. Yeah.
Oh wow, interesting.
So I was like you, especially Blake, because as you guys already know, my milk supply was nothing to write home about. So I had to, at 4 months, because by 3 months they were just looking at me like as though even with the formula they were just like, is there more to life than just
this milk?
than just this bottle? So I remember introducing the Cerelacs and the porridges at that point, like at 4 months, that would only be like one meal. One feed per day. And it had to be the same for like a week. I would give Cerelac, then porridge alone, then Cerelac until we hit the 6 months. And guys, for my kids, at exactly 6 months when we introduced solids, my kids had fun eating solids. Whether it was squash, whether it was pumpkin, whether it was beans, whatever it was. But I also think they just had fun with it. So for me, my experience with weaning was quite nice. Maybe the only thing that I didn't like was, of course, because I used to allow them to explore their food. They really explored. And you know how so the clean up for me was like
a nightmare.
Was just like, wow, can you just drink milk?
Clean
and quicker. Yeah,
interesting. So I guess our stories are a bit similar. But like Pumla, I didn't really have an issue with introducing solids. I think so porridges, and I don't remember doing Cerelac. I feel like Cerelac was a luxury.
Too sweet. Also, it was too sweet.
Also for me.
It was
nice.
Yes, it was sweet. I remember liking it. Yes.
It is. Yeah, it was sweet. So if you refused, you would eat. But I do remember. So Micah spent a lot of time at my mom's place. He did porridge, but like Blake, he would do like 1 meal a day, and it was mostly like. So I wanted to ask a question before actually I share my experience. Is introducing cow's milk the same as weaning?
Yes, because your weaning is as long as you've taken off the breast to any other form of nourishment.
I think there is a gray area, honestly, because I think the literature, so when I was reading about weaning, the literature insists on breast milk, that substitute, but I would like to believe that whatever you're using as a substitute for breast milk.
Should
Because
be
there are people
okay,
who
right?
have never breastfed.
Yes.
Are you saying that their kids
So
were
you
weaned on
wean
day
them
one?
on day one.
Is that
Yes,
what that
essentially, yes. Theoretically, you've already weaned. You at when they ask you when did you wean, you say from the hospital.
From the hospital, which I don't know.
I don't know.
In this context, I think we're really
Solids. Okay. Okay. So I guess, and we'll ask the nutritionist.
Like she said, it's a gray area.
It is
We'll
a
ask
gray
her.
area. It is a gray area. So so yes, the porridges were introduced, but Micah has always been a picky eater.
Okay.
Right from about 6 or 7 months. So if he ate solids, it was mashed Irish potatoes, but not with as much enthusiasm. And I still struggle to date. Yeah. So he eats, but he likes selected things, and he doesn't like food mixed with onions. He wants his food plain. Yeah, don't mix. So I don't do vegetables.
Something about picky eaters.
I know kids like that.
Yeah.
Onions, green pepper.
Green pepper.
Really
No.
disgusts them. So
Don't do. So I don't do things like minced meat in spaghetti or minced meat in pasta.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine how my life?
I know. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So between 8 months and a year, I guess, and up to now, he's always struggled to like food. Really. Yeah. So I wouldn't say that he eats and mealtime is yay, but
Yeah.
milk.
That
Which is why I was
one.
asking about cow's
Okay.
milk. Micah took milk up to about, I'm ashamed to say this, maybe 4 years.
When you say milk, you mean like
Milk in a bottle, yes, milk in a bottle.
Some
That was like his favorite thing. Like it would be a substitute for even food and meals. Yeah. So I feel like I struggled in that area a bit. Yeah.
Okay. I think our experiences are a bit similar because for the boys, the 3 boys, the weaning, it was quite the same because my breast milk supply, just like Manuela, even at 2 months you're struggling already.
Yeah.
So we start with the porridges, the Cerelac. I like the can't get Cerelac, like it's really soft, close. So that's what we used. And when they start their solids at about 6, because that's when I start the solids. I think Zara has enjoyed the most because with her chair, I remember Manuela even reminded me the other time of don't forget, don't just keep carrying her. Sit her in the chair and let her enjoy. So she sits there, enjoys her food. But the boys also I didn't struggle because since I don't have enough supply, we start about 4, so it's the milk, the Cerelac was, of course, even now I still munch on Zara's Cerelac, but
Mothers of today.
yeah, but I just have one picky eater. One of my second son, Fatah, he's so picky. Up to now, like I struggle. I think he just likes juice. If there's juice in
And then they
house.
always pick just the one thing that they really like.
Exactly. And it's beans and rice for him. Then when the beans have onions, he'll first select the onions and tomatoes, put them aside. Oh my God.
It really is.
So he's the only one who disturbs us with eating in the house. Yeah.
Okay.
So what influenced you guys, or what influenced you to make the decision to win?
I don't know. I would like to say that I followed the baby center up. I think I was those milestone mothers of, okay, at 1 month, what are we doing? Okay.
Yeah.
At 2 months, what are we doing? So when it hit 6 months, I was like, I guess it's now time to start introducing. I wouldn't say there was a grand strategy that, now I'm going to introduce solids. I was just like, okay, I guess now is the time. And yeah.
I think for me, it was my breast milk supply because it was just low.
Very low.
It just made sense to introduce something other than milk, which was, but well, they were all milk based. So
Yes.
I didn't mind that. Now at 6 months, I'll never forget, I think I danced 6 months, at the 6 month mark. I was just like, guess what? You're eating solids. Like I think I was just so excited that now I could cook food and not have to cook separate food. I think that was what excited me. I was just like, now if we eat Irish, I can mash the Irish and you can eat
it
from the same, so I really got excited. I think the kids were just like,
What's her problem?
why is mom shouting? I don't know, so it was my breast milk supply, and then baby center, 6 months mark.
For me, I think mine was also that idea that Pumla talked about, how you Google and want to find all these other sources.
and stuff.
So you're anxious. You're like, I want them to test these. Let me get, let me mash this. And so I'm influenced, but also my low breast milk supply.
Yeah.
Like you really have no option but to
Well, I wanted to start at 6 months because that's all I knew. And even when I went to the apps, I never ever knew of 4 months. So I started at 4 months, but I only did it because honestly, I think I had a colleague who had 5 children.
Hey.
So she used to ask, and she was so interested in my Teja and what's going on at home, what's happening, what are you doing? Oh, is he eating? Is he eating? And I was like, no, he's not yet eating. But he really liked milk, but he was taking too much. And for me, if you ask me for the real reason, was because one, that colleague of mine told me, no, it's all right. You don't have to wait for the 6 months mark. You can start introducing now and see how he responds. And then I said, oh, okay, but I didn't. And then when I go back home, my kid used to eat like that milk, and I was breastfeeding fully. So I was only breastfeeding, and the bottomless pit of my child. Really, the demand is what pushed me over. That was like, you know what? Let me put this and that together and see what happens. And then he took 2, and then you see he would have problems of not, because he would take so much, and maybe I also wasn't nourishing myself properly. And I realized he needs something external. I'm not doing it for him as I feel like I should. And he responded. Now he would sleep. I think I already talked about my bad life the first 6 months, the first year. So anything to help was welcome. I was just tired, and it worked. It really helped.
You're so right about boys because they feed differently from girls. So for me, I help them early. I'm like, hey, don't struggle. If there's help,
Mama got you.
Mama got you.
Mama got you. You know, the Lord gave us these cows to help us in seasons like this. They have milk if you don't have enough. So I really help them so that Bambi, they don't struggle. So is there advice that you got in this, to help you just win? We have relatives who want to pump us with advice. Do this. I'm interested.
Motherhood is a bottomless pit of advice. Everybody has something to say, and you're always questioning yourself and what you know and what you've read and what you hear and what you want to do. Mine, honestly, which actually did work, was to have somebody else feed. For me, I swear, when my kid would look at me, I was sure he was seeing a milk manufacturing machine. That is, I feel like he would just be there and he's looking for that is for whatever reason, whether it was for comforting or soothing or feed or eating. I think he would just see. So I realized that when he would be really distracted, like I'm trying to feed him, he's there on there. Then when I would have somebody else doing, someone else being his dad or his nanny, then he would eat flawlessly. So that advice really worked for me in that regard, of have somebody else do it. Feed.
It's interesting that you say that, because I feel like our kids eat better not at home. I don't know if it happens to you guys. So like Micah will eat better at home. There are times when I find him with a cup of black tea, taking it like, he doesn't do milk tea, which is strange because he really likes milk. But he will take black tea at home. He will do porridge at home. When I make it at our place, it's for begging. Micah, take your porridge, drink your tea, drink your tea. At my mom's place, So at my mom's place, he eats fine. He will eat all the things, So he will still be a bit picky, but he will eat better. So it's interesting that somebody gave you that advice. I feel like it actually works.
Same colleague, the other one of 4 months.
Of 4 children.
Of 5
children.
5 children.
I think for me the greatest advice that worked for me, and I don't think it came from anyone, I think it was off the internet, was about allowing the children to enjoy their food. So, just put the food there, not even on a plate, on that, the baby platter, on their, and then just leave them. So the way it is you'd first feed, and then when they look full, leave them to
play.
When they play in their food. I feel like because of that, my kids found their mouths really quickly. And so because of that, I was able to build independence early. So they would first play, find their mouth, then I start to give them forks, and then they find, so they really found them and clock how to move.
Motor skills.
Those the fine motor skills of moving. So for me, that was the best advice I got. Whichever site I got you on.
Thank you.
You are the best. You did it for me. You did it, because even right now they use their forks and knives. Like they don't have any problem. Like they started very early to play around with their
I like
with
when
their
you
food.
say that, because that sense of independence starts with such things. Let them feed themselves. I remember when you were at the cradle, you give them pillows, sleeping pillows, and the babies feed themselves with bottles.
But life, let me tell you, at like 2 months, as long as they can, I put them on a pillow, and I never ever used to feed for Yeah, so yeah,
Because
it makes
mothers, we have that tendency, our kid is 2 years and you're still sitting them on the lap and feeding them when they can just, sit and learn this independence on their own. I think the advice that helped me is to let the children, let them show you what they enjoy, other than you forcing them on things, or because you've Googled this pumpkin and carrot and mashed it. When they're throwing it away, you're like, eat it. It's nutritious. This is what will help you. You get. So let them teach you, because when you give them sweet potato, they won't fight.
Yeah.
So you learn that this is what they enjoy.
like. Yes.
If you give them pumpkin and they're not fighting, so not forcing them on posho,
Yeah.
because someone has told you posho is a
nutritious.
bodybuilder. So yeah, that's
when
what
a bodybuilder. It's a bodybuilder.
You have to eat.
Can't you see that bugulu? You need this
posho. So yeah, that advice of the children will teach you what they like.
want.
So
Yeah.
concentrate on that.
I don't know if my advice was similar, but I think I got this from my mom. It's to experiment with different things.
Oh, that's
And I
interesting.
guess that helps in
Finding what they
finding out
like.
what they actually like. So if they like pumpkin, try the pumpkin. And I guess try different kinds of pumpkin. There's the mashed, or you just steam it and then sort of feed them. So try different things. But I don't think that worked for me, because my child is such a picky eater.
No, they refuse most of
He refuses. He doesn't eat. He eats the things that he eats. And I guess our next question is, most moms struggling with picky eaters.
Yeah.
I guess on this panel, I am probably you, myself, and Rosette, who struggle with picky eaters. What stories have you had, if I don't? Are your children picky eaters?
No, my son eats everything and anything that
you
they can put in
mentioned.
front of him. But I wouldn't call him picky eater, because I thought originally he was a picky eater until I met many other people's children, and then I understood what picky eating meant.
Yes.
But I remember so in that period of the transition, he liked things that were easy. Of course, not like cereal, whatever went down, mashed,
Mashed,
but he would still not eat as well as I've seen some other kids eat. So of course, I think that was an issue to do with comparison also. Like I was comparing him to the 150%, and yet there is also that one of 40%. So I find my equilibrium. Then I realized he wasn't such a picky eater anyway. But then when I would tell my mom would say, no, you used to eat so much more than that, except the rest of my siblings. So when she told me that, Pumla, that's exactly how you used to eat. I struggled with you the most. So she asked me, so do you expect a mango to fall from an orange tree? And I tried, and she's a nutritionist. So she knew she was doing what she was supposed to do, but nothing was working. So she just told me, just take your child and get their weight. If they are okay, be very cool. Don't worry, as long as you're sure he's getting some nutrition from somewhere, don't worry. And as when that came, peace at my home. Moved on. And then as he grew, oh my God, now I'm wondering, how do they stop kids from eating?
What supplement can you give him?
What can I do to help reduce
appetite?
I get so many, of course, because of the credo, I get so many parents ask, my child is such a picky eater. And I look at the child, I'm just like, no, that child is okay. No, my child eats so little. You give him so little. And I'm just like, honey, that weight for that age, it's fine, because we carry weight differently. Like if I tell somebody, I remember the other day I was in hospital and they checked my weight, I was 66 kilograms. And I remember the lady there was like, you mean I'm smaller than you? And so it's okay. Guys, I'm coming. And in her mind, 66 looks a certain way, but that's not the case. You understand? 66 on me looks like this, but the 66 on Rachel, we can look at her and say, are you pregnant? Are you okay? Exactly. So there's a way in which you have to realize that weight works differently on children. So anyway, that aside, the advice I would give parents who have children with picky eaters, give them access to food. So give as much access to food. So we are used to eating, no access. So the way we usually open food 3 times a day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then we try kobu snacks in the middle. Let your child have access to food. So on the dining, there's like a yogurt. There's an apple. There's there should always be access, because sometimes, because of those, we have only 3 times in a day that we eat, you find that your child might not be hungry at that time, and then maybe you say no, they're eating too little, or they're such picky eaters, or stuff like that. Then also where you have children that as picky as they don't want to see tomatoes and onions, then you just blend the things, like let's not, just blend them in the tomatoes, and of course that's it, but you want them to eat, right? So you can't bad life, but sorry, but that is your baby. We can't assist. So at the very least, blend them. So I remember Blake used to do that. Although his was quite interesting, he would separate the tomatoes, separate the onions, and then eat them one by one.
So
you still eat them anyway. So I found that quite interesting.
Just organize.
Organize.
I want his mashed things.
Mashed. So I would say give access to as much access as you can. Also, kids love to eat with parents. So you say that they are picky, yet when they eat from your plate, they're eating. So also try that out and see how that works.
It's really try here, try there, try here, try there. I think that's really good advice. I think what I had decided to do, because I don't want bad life, is to give him what he wants.
Yeah.
So if he wants spaghetti, I will make spaghetti. He will eat posho, I'll make the posho. And then no forcing. If it's dinner time and he doesn't want to eat,
and
it's fine. Then you'll ask me for a slice. His weight is fine.
His weight is okay.
I think also that's what also relaxed me. Yeah, the fact that you measure and they're above their weight. Yeah,
that's fine. That's okay. So there you go. Those are our experiences weaning our children and introducing solids. We would love to hear from you. If you have a question about weaning or introducing solids, maybe your child is a picky eater and you have gone to Timbuktu and back. Please post your questions down below. We're going to have a nutritionist on our next episode to answer all of your questions. Until next time, with love from Bump Love.